Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Chelsea, all of them involved traveling and vacationing with and getting money from, along with the British royal family, the convicted sex offender reportedly running the dungeons with underage girls in them. That boiled down by Kurt Nimmo, linking to mainstream news, is headlined at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. Bill Clinton, the known rapist, connected to birds of a feather that fly and rape and torture together. Daily Mail, Bill Clinton identified in a lawsuit against his former friend and pedophile, Jeffrey Epstein, who had regular orgies at his Caribbean compound that the former president visited multiple times. Royal family also vacationed there. They're now coming out defending him and visiting him even after he's been convicted. Prince Andrew may have been secretly filmed with underage girl he is alleged to have abused. Infowars.com. The Smoking Gun, billionaire sex offender phone book, contained email addresses, 21 phone numbers for Bill Clinton. Former HHS official sentenced 25 years in prison for child pornography charges. The Washington Post. I mean, and the stack just continues on that front. What have we been telling you? It's come out in the biggest British newspapers that at least a third of the members of parliament are in part of pedophile networks. And I'm not talking about guys going out with 17-year-old women. There's always an extreme end of things, calling it pedophilia when you're 20 dating a 17-year-old. I don't think that's the case. And most people in polls don't. No, I'm talking about 5-year-old boys being strangled and raped and run over with cars. 6-year-old girls having their throats slit, being grabbed out of their backyard and disappearing on a private jet to the Caribbean. And the next thing you know, world leaders are standing over you. That's who needs to be saved. And that's any time I have a spark of fear in my psyche about who I'm going up against, I think about all those kids they're having their way with, and not just the little 3 or 4 or 5-year-old that people are so upset about and should be. All the hundreds of millions every few years worldwide, and the 55 million, I keep saying 52 million, it's like 55, 56 million abortions in this country since Roe v. Wade, saying they're not kids either. The minute we did that, folks, now it's infanticide. Now it's kill babies after they're born. Now it's kill old people. Now it's put the veterans on death list. Young veterans, not just old ones. That's bad enough. Do not treat, do not give care list. We are evil. We are run by evil. We must admit we're evil, or there's no way to dial this back, and the bottom's going to fall out. Rand Paul has demanded Democrats return money raised by, quote, sexual predator Bill Clinton. That's how you take these criminals down. You should get hardcore. And we have the video of Rand Paul saying that. I love it. We're going to have an arms race now of who can turn the rhetoric up. But Bill Clinton settled cases. If you followed this back in 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, like I did, on radio every day, where he would literally just rape women on a routine basis, break their jaws, beat the living daylights out of them. And he would settle the lawsuits. I'm not going to get into what he did to the women, but it included biting bloody chunks out of them. I mean, we're talking hardcore Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer type behavior, okay? And then if people spoke out about it, he'd have their arms broken. I'm telling you, though, I hope they don't blow up Rand Paul's airplane and when he's flying or something, because here's the issue. If we get everybody talking like this, they can't kill us all. That's why I love to get other talk show hosts on. I don't want to walk point in this thing. It's not because I don't even want to die. I want to win. We win by getting everybody telling the truth, everybody going public. The story is up on drudgereport.com, the place that broke the original Monica Lewinsky story that then opened up all the sexual garbage. Bill Clinton is an actual total cokehead, nose like a vacuum cleaner. Roger Clinton said, guy who settled with a bunch of women where he'd have them at a dinner and say, step in the cloakroom with me for a second. He'd get a woman in, punch her in the face, bloody her nose, and then bite her lip with blood dripping. That's a high-tech rapist technique, by the way. Only real psychopaths know that. I hate to even talk about it and give people ideas. And you bite while you talk to them and you say, you take your panties off right now, I'm going to bite your lip off. You understand? I hate to talk like that, but that's what came out in court that Bill Clinton would do. Start strangling a woman, bite their face, and then Gloria Steinem and all of them, when this came out in the like 1997, 98, right during the impeachment, they all came to his aid because they're there to ruin women. Hillary's humiliation, how she swept Bill Clinton's affair under the carpet. And they all made it about the affair of Monica Lewinsky and Paula Jones and all the rest of this. I mean, I've interviewed the people who've been tortured and beaten up by Bill Clinton's folks.
Well, you know, I mean, the Democrats, one of their big issues is they've concocted and says Republicans are committing a war on women. One of the workplace laws and rules that I think are good is that bosses shouldn't prey on young interns in their office. And I think really the media seems to have given President Clinton a pass on this. He took advantage of a girl that was 20 years old and an intern in his office. There is no excuse for that, and that is predatory behavior, and it should be something we shouldn't want to associate with people who would take advantage of a young girl in his office. This isn't having an affair. I mean, this isn't me saying, oh, he's had an affair, we shouldn't talk to him. Someone who takes advantage of a young girl in their office, I mean, really. And then they have the gall to stand up and say Republicans are having a war on women. So, yes, I think it's a factor. Now, it's not Hillary's fault. And,
but it should be an issue.
But it is a factor in judging Bill Clinton in history.
Right, but is it something that Hillary Clinton should be judged on if she were a candidate in 2016?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. This was with regard to the Clintons, and sometimes it's hard to separate one from the other. But I would say that with regard to his place in history, that it certainly is a discussion. And I think in my state, you know, people tend to sort of frown upon that. We wouldn't be, you know, if there was someone in my community who did that, they would be socially, we would disassociate from somebody who would take advantage of a young woman in the workplace.